Hi, welcome back to Dial of Twang. I'm Dave. So we're still working out on this minor progression that we used a couple days ago. And if you notice today in this introduction that I just played, it wasn't so much a solo, right? It wasn't all improvisational. It was kind of a routine. It was almost like an exercise. But it's an exercise that includes exploration, okay? And I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. But the mission here today is to have kind of help provide ways of practicing, right? So I'm getting a lot of feedback that like, yeah, man, we like the open-ended stuff and the kind of do your own thing stuff, and that's cool. But when you're learning, you also want concrete, pieces of that scaffolding that you can really rely on. Like, hey, I don't really feel comfortable like just doing my own thing right here. Give me something that I can practice that's a routine. Okay, so this is one of those today, and so it's not going to be a long one, but I'm going to show you kind of how to go about this. Then you build your own, version of this. Now, our progression. Let's put this on for just a second. It's that C sharp minor. And then just kind of walks back up. He drops down to that A and B, and they're both major. Okay, so like we said the other day, C sharp minor pentatonic all day long on this. Okay, and some C sharp natural minor scale stuff. Just same notes as E major. We drilled down into that a little bit more in the previous video, but basically you've got and then kind of combining those two scales and leaving more open phrasing and stuff. Okay. Now, what we're adding to this today is still going to be minor pentatonic. In fact, everything I played in the first portion of that intro was C sharp minor pentatonic in different positions. And then, at some point I started kind of filling in a little bit with those natural minor diatonic notes and, kind of back to what I just mentioned as far as putting together the pieces. So, but here's a way when we parse out the pieces, pentatonic, minor scale. Here's a way to really practice your minor pentatonic stuff and kind of break it down into a different way than just going up and down positions. Nothing wrong with that. And you may ask yourself, well, this seems like a lot of work when I could just play it all like right here, the same notes. Like, why do I need to move around? It's a good question. There's several good answers. I'll start with the fact that you're just learning your fretboard, plain and simple. You're going to do different things. And if you're moving around and using different shapes to play the same note sequences, you're just your instrument better, and you're going to be able, in different songs and different situations, you're going to be able to apply that knowledge wherever you are physically in a song, right? It's not just this progression, right? And the second answer is that the pentatonic notes contain all sorts of killer chord tones for all three of these things. And you can do a lot of repetition without having to do a lot of analysis and get really cool melodic melodies out of it. So, take a breath. Here's what's going on here. I'm going to play a little bit with the track and then we'll start breaking this down. Okay. Now, nothing fancy there, right? That's not it's not our Saturday night, solo that we're going to play there. But here's the idea. Sometimes it helps to make a practice routine where we kind of separate out some of the strings, right? We don't just think of everything as always having to be, like I said, the width of the neck, right? And this requires that you move to a bunch of different positions, which can be awkward at first, but it's great training. And you actually get a lot of musical effects doing this that turn out to add something that really is are elements of composition to your soloing that you really weren't planning on. That's kind of the bonus of it. But here's what I'm doing. I'm taking. Let's start with just this most common minor pentatonic shape, and I'm just playing the notes that are on these two highest strings in that position, and doing different things. You can do some, eighth note, That's fine. Don't try to do stuff too fancy at first. You can do some triplet stuff, whether it's slow, three feel. Just like that. Just not necessarily in that order, but mix up your feel a little bit, but pick four notes. For each one of these positions. That's the first one. Now, turn this off for just a second. Does that sound familiar? Yeah, a little bit. Then go down to now. You can just take the notes. When I say go to another position, you're like, well, wait a minute. I need tab. I need to know what fret that is. Just be patient. Just go down if you want to go down to the next note that's in that pentatonic scale, and you can just reference it back to the one that you're more familiar with, right? If you already know these shapes, the first shape, second shape. I don't talk too much in that language because it just gets ultra confusing really fast if you're just numbering everything, and this system will work. Now, bass, pick the four notes that are. Got to do a little work off to the side here. So our notes. It's also part of that, traditional system of naming the pentatonics. That's this shape. But I'm just singling out those four notes. Now, let's take that one to mess around with that a little bit, then alternate it with that first one. Okay, again, it's nothing fancy, right? But you spend some time working out like this, when you let yourself go, you're going to have a lot more ammunition in your belt. Trust me, but you got to do the work. So now you see what's going on, right? We're going to do it again. See, now I missed it. Your ear will know if it's not that note. Doesn't matter if you cut out that, other part of the minute there where you have to, flip the page back, move the video back and look at the other diagram and see if you're on the right. Trust your ear. I did it again. I like that. I guess I want to put that in there for some reason. Right? See the process? You can figure this stuff out yourself, and you'll learn a lot along the way. So, work out on that one, then integrate it with the others that we've done. Okay, see, once you get more comfortable with it, it's kind of like that game, where you memorize somebody's name in the circle, and then you got to go back. The more that you say those, you remember the first people's name, right? That campfire game, sort of like that. So do you want to be thorough with this sort of thing, so that you try to memorize the whole circle, right? And at first that might be like, look, that's too much, right? I'm not going to remember all of this. Well, then limit it to, 2 or 3 at first and just work out on that. But the next day or the next time you come back to practice, try to make it all the way around. And so by all the way around, I mean covering all of the starting notes, from that scale. Or you could apply this kind of system and routine thinking to a lot of different note sequences and things that you're practicing, right? So it's more than just working on this progression. So then we go down to here. How do I know that? I'm checking it with my ear. See that? Again, something wasn't right, I adjust. I love this little open one right here. If you do the work, the same thing we've been doing, you get down to here. And that's the same as your 12th fret up here, right? So I think in the intro, and I do this a lot, I'll kind of run out of neck, and then I'll just come up and do the same thing that I was doing down here and kind of connect the whole circle of it, and it'll just sound, it doesn't sound purely repetitious because you're switching octaves. Now, some of you may be asking yourself, well, wait a second, where are you ending? You're saying where you're starting every time, but where are you ending? Are you ending on chord tones? Are you thinking about it? Are you just all over the place? They're all good. That's the gift on this, right? The way that this is set up for you. You're not going to play a bad note. Every one of no matter where you stop, you're going to be playing some kind of either chord tone of the chord that you're on, or something that's leading you right back to that solid minor pentatonic sound, because it's all made of the same stuff. All right, well, I think that'll do it. Hopefully you got a good sense of how to put this together for yourself, and just do the work, and let me know how it goes. See where this leads you. And just thanks to everybody. There's been a lot of new subscribers lately, and just a lot of participation. through email and the Square site and in the comments, and I just really enjoy it. And I noticed in the comments, folks are starting to respond to each other more, and so there's even more support there. If I don't get to your comment, right away, then other subscribers or YouTubers are getting on there and answering the questions, and it's really cool. I really thank all of you. Let me know how this one goes. Talk to you next time.